At the WVU Coliseum, 9-3, Northern Kentucky. Here's their starting lineup: Drew McDonald, Jordan Garnett, Carson Williams, Cole Murray, Levon Holland. A young but talented team for head coach John Brandon. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the West Virginia Mountaineers. And they will have Brandon Watkins in the lineup tonight. Javon Carter, Daxter Miles Jr., Nathan Adrian, Issa Ahmad, and Brandon Watkins, whose grandparents happen to be here for this game, which may have had something to do with head coach Bob Huggins, including him in the lineup tonight, the starting lineup. Bob Huggins has 801 career victories, head coach of his alma mater in his 10th season here. Obviously a long and storied career. We had his 800th victory 2 games ago here on Root Sports. Great thrill to see that. John Brandon on the other end of the spectrum, just getting started, second year at Northern Kentucky. A bit of an adjustment last year, but really has the team playing well this year. They've been one of the surprises in the country in the mid-major ranks in his second full season. They are 9-3, first time since they've made this transition to the Division I level in the 2012-2013 season that they will finish their non-conference schedule with a winning record.
Well, and they, 4 of those wins on the road, and that's tough sledding this time of year, but they've played very well on the road, Rob.
Very few teams in the country have won more than their 4 true road games. Third time these teams have played. West Virginia opened up with a victory over Northern Kentucky a season ago. We're underway. Watkins wins the tap to Javon Carter. Man-to-man defense for Northern Kentucky.
And as usual, West Virginia's going to try to get everybody involved the first time with the basketball.
Foul inside, and it's going to be called on Jordan Garnett. They do not have a lot of size. They have a lot of depth, not a lot of size. Garnett giving away some size already, so you hate to see, if you're John Brandon, any of your big guys getting into foul trouble. Deflected out of bounds, will remain West Virginia basketball as we take a look at Warren's keys to the game.
Well, West Virginia needs to finish strong here, this first part of the year, 40 minutes strong, and the bigs need to play big. The Northern Kentucky guys inside are pretty physical. They're not real big, but they're very physical.
20 on the shot clock, so plenty of time. As Carter tries to reset the offense. Doubled, goes out to Adrian. Thought about the 3, called for a travel. Adrian didn't like it. Bob Huggins didn't like it. Here are the keys for Northern Kentucky.
Yeah, they continue to share the ball. They have 4 guys averaging double figures. They need to be good in the transition game and continue to board. They, as you mentioned, Rob, they've out-rebounded 11 of their first 12 opponents.
Question is, can they handle this pressure? Here's Cole Murray in transition to three-pointer. He is an excellent shooter, one of the best in the country, and he gets an open 3 in transition. Contested late by Watkins, but Murray's a guy they're going to have to find, Warren.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He can really fill it up from outside.
Ahmad will try for 3. No good. Rebound to Holland. Holland pushes. Now they'll try to settle things down. Garnett in trouble. Daxter Miles Jr. goes flying to the floor. McDonald pretty much only going to shoot 3s. They get way out on him defensively. Now 6 on the shot clock. Driving move and a nice reverse layup by the athletic freshman Carson Williams.
Boy, nice move by Williams. Watkins had a bad angle. Williams able to take that baseline, get an easy layup.
Good start for Northern Kentucky, up 5-0. Miles Jr. goes left hand, tips his own back in.
Boy, quick tip. Yeah, hit the floor and went right back up for that tip.
Inbounded to Holland. He's waiting for some of that pressure to clear out. Very quick player, but again, that pressure shows that quickness here. That pressure doesn't seem to affect him here. Second time down, they've been able to get through the initial stages of the press. And now the extra pass you talked about into Murray for a rare layup. 94 of his 99 field goal attempts, 3-pointers.
3-pointers,
That's a rare 2-point attempt there by McDonald, but a 7-2 lead.
And again, Northern Kentucky coming in playing extremely hard and not intimidated by the Mountaineers here early.
Carter with a 3-pointer. That's off the mark. Good box out. And they look to run. Here's McDonald. Or I beg your pardon, this is Williams in transition. Gets the basket to go, and he's fouled. So Carson Williams, the two-time freshman of the week and reigning freshman of the week in the Horizon League, able to convert.
Boy, and just what the doctor ordered for the Norse here early. Take the crowd out of the ball game. Let's attack that pressure, which they've done. They've hit a three out of it. And that time, you see Williams going all the way to the rack for that layup.
And already some substitutions for Bob Huggins. Not that we don't expect to see a lot of them, but three quick ones. Tariq Phillip, Elijah Macon, Tavon Myers in to join Adrian out on the floor with Ahmad. Missed the free throw, and it is a 9-2 Northern Kentucky lead. Under 20 on the shot clock. Now 10 on the shot clock.
Mountaineers being patient, but a lot of that's due to the good defense of Northern Kentucky.
And Phillip able to go right around Williams and lay it in. 9-4.
Patience paid off for the Mountaineers.
Did they whistle Adrian for a foul there or some sort of warning? I think it might have been a warning. Inbounded to Holland.
Well, Holland looks really steady against this pressure early on. Now, we've seen that happen, though. A lot of times teams, once they start getting tired, have a little more trouble.
Holland hits, and Northern Kentucky has hit their first 5 field goal attempts, and they lead 12-4. Here's Ahmad cutting to the basket. He's able to lay it in. So all of West Virginia's baskets coming on the interior here. Still down by 6 early on.
Well, Nate Adrian does a good job, and Ahmad knows that makes a good cut to the basket.
And this is what Northern Kentucky's done on the road. A respectable showing against Illinois. Then Delaware, then the true road games we talked about at Miami, Morehead State, Norfolk State. So 4 victories on the road. Very difficult to do this time of year. McDonald looking for help, near turnover, but Williams able to control. They call Williams for a travel back the other way, and that will take us to our first timeout. So Northern Kentucky, the kind of start John Brandon was hoping for. His team is up 6.
Northern Kentucky off to a fast start with a 6-point lead over the Mountaineers 4 minutes into the game. I'm Robbie Mikowski. Well, I asked assistant coach Larry Harrison if he thought the Mountaineers were going to face a pretty good challenge today, with Northern Kentucky being one of the hottest teams in all of basketball at the current time. And he said absolutely, and 2 reasons. Number 1, Drew McDonald. Number 2, Levon Holland. McDonald is the big man, and their post defense today is going to have to prepare them for Big 12 play. And the point guard, Levon Holland, he said, hey, he could score, penetrate, and pass just like all the other Big 12 guards. It's a good challenge because they want to keep the ball out of his hands and make other guys make decisions. Talking about Holland, we'll see what they can do here the remainder of the game, but certainly NKU, Robin Warren, off to a fast start against the Mountaineers.
3 on the shot clock, Robbie. Thank you, as Phillip gets one off and rebounded, scrambling for. And Jeff Garrett, who's checked into the game, has it go off of him, so it'll be a fresh 30-second shot clock for West Virginia.
Well, the Mountaineers are showing patience, but I'm telling you, Rob, Northern Kentucky's playing really good defense right now, especially in the half court.
And then 5 for 5 on the other end, and that's how you get off to a 12-6 lead. Here's Ahmad, tough fadeaway shot, challenged, and the rebound to Brennan Gillis, who is also checked in for the Norse. As has Mason Faulkner, the guard who goes to Gillis. This is Holland being guarded by Ahmad. Nice penetration. Challenge late, though. Ahmad recovered defensively. West Virginia looking to run. Here's Phillip. And Phillip, they're going to call the block. And Phillip gets the basket. A chance for a 3-point play. The foul on Mason Faulkner.
Yeah, Faulkner inside that restricted area. Phillip going up strong. You have to get outside of the arc if you're going to take that charge.
Javon Carter checks back in for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, close, but he said he was inside that area, may have been moving. Regardless, Phillip goes to the free throw line, where he's a 54% shooter on the season. And missed it short. Garrett, the Alabama transfer, he is going to be called for a travel. John Brannon was under Anthony Grant for 6 seasons at Alabama and brought Jeff Garrett along as a transfer. Sat out a year ago. Actually, sat out as a redshirt freshman in Alabama, so he's still getting his feet back under him. It's been a couple seasons since he's been able to play basketball. Looks like Northern Kentucky has a nice thing working under John Brannon here. Three-pointer too long for Adrian. Rebound is to Garrett, but Adrian with a steal. He'll find Carter. Pump fake. Thought about it. Goes back out to Myers. Myers, takes it in. Tough defense, and now we'll try again and get the foul called on Garrett.
Boy, he was not going to be denied. Myers up strong, got his own rebound, and back up again, right in among the big guys.
His first, team's third. Myers at the line, shooting one.
A lot of contact there, and then looked like Garrett reached in a little bit, so Myers a chance to convert a three-point play, 76% free throw shooter. And the Mountaineers have cut it to 1.
So many times you've seen Myers come into the game when West Virginia needs that spark. And he coming off the bench really can score and score in bunches.
Well, Holland looking to inbound, gets it to Faulkner. Crowd wanted to walk there.
They certainly did. I think everybody saw that, but maybe the officials.
They do break the timeline. Holland still being doubled. Gillis thought about the 3. Back to Holland. His penetration into Williams. Williams. Ooh, boy, tough shot by Carson Williams. High off glass to end a 7-0 West Virginia run.
Watch some video on him. Very difficult to stop inside. Does a good job of getting the ball on the board in traffic.
Mr. Kentucky. Basketball, high school basketball player. That's a rich basketball playing state. You know, he's got to be pretty good, just a freshman. Myers to Carter along the baseline. His fall away is good.
West Virginia settling down, getting some good offensive looks.
Holland and Northern Kentucky really taking their time, making sure they're set up, not helping out the officials by grabbing the basketball at all. Here's Faulkner, nice feed, and Garrett is fouled as he goes up for the dunk attempt. Boy, pretty pass by Mason Faulkner.
That's his first.
Really a good, you know, draw that traffic towards you and then dump it off to the guys inside. Excellent pass.
Faulkner, by the way, led the state of Kentucky in scoring last year, averaging just under 36 points per game. As Garrett hits the first free throw, substitutions for the Mountaineers. Then Sags Kanate into the game for the first time. Miles, Carter, and Phillip, along with Adrian. Cole Murray back into the game for Northern Kentucky. Garrett hits 1 of 2, kept alive by Gillis. And Williams and Adrian battling. Carter comes away with it for the Mountaineers, looking to run. And they draw the foul. Let's see who that's going to be on. It's going to be on Mason Faulkner. His second personal foul for the freshman.
Cole Murray has been on the bench for quite a while for Northern Kentucky. Certainly the Mountaineers need to know where he is on the court at all times, the way that he can fill it up from the perimeter.
Now Blake Spellman, who returned their game against Brescia 2 days ago. He'd been out with the concussion protocol for the past several games. So Spellman, another guy that they can bring in at that point guard position. And now Cole Murray is called for a personal foul.
West Virginia sets a lot of screens on that baseline inbounds play. And sometimes there's some grabbing and holding if a guy thinks he's going to get beat. And I think that's what happened to Murray. Murray with a little blood, I think.
Trying to get him bandaged up.
Yeah, get him repaired and get him back on the court.
Give him some time here. And he's back in, ready to go. West Virginia will inbound underneath its own basket with a fresh 30 and down by a pair. Had a chance to get it to Kanate there on the inbound play. Here's Phillip. Oh, terrific Phillip.
To be able to hang in the air, take the contact. And again, we talked so much about how strong these guards are.
It's one of those streets of Brooklyn shots, huh?
Yes, it is.
Playground. Spellman to McDonald to Gillis. He'll wait as Spellman. McDonald trailing. Three-pointer no good. Garrett able to get a hand on it, but good box out by West Virginia. Looking to take its first lead of the game. And Phillips right to the basket.
Right now,
Mountaineers up
Northern
17-15.
Northern Kentucky with no answer for Phillips going down the lane. And again, we see so many times the pressure eventually getting to the opponent.
Gillis missed, and then West Virginia right back on the offense. So that the temptation to take that open three, but if you miss it,
that's right.
It just feels like you're playing defense forever, doesn't it?
Your pressure defense doesn't always have to steal the ball. If you make them take a bad shot with poor rebounding, then it's been effective.
Phillip tried to dump it into Adrian, a little miscommunication, but the Mountaineers at the 11:49 mark have taken the lead, up 17-15 behind Tariq Phillip.
You know, Tariq Phillip has been so steady for the Mountaineers. We talked about that at the beginning of the game. And, boy, he's stepped up big here early this afternoon. They have no answer for him driving to the basket. You know, he's so strong that, you know, he gets in there, he absorbs a lot of contact, and can still get the shot down. 8 early points for Tariq.
He is 4 for 5 from the floor. The rest of the Mountaineers are 4 for 11. So Tariq Phillip has provided a great spark here for Bob Huggins, and the Mountaineers have a 2-point lead. Two teams with 6-game winning streaks. Von Holland trying to identify and avoid the pressure from the Mountaineers, doing a really fine job of that.
Yes, he is. Good recognition. He saw the double team coming, able to get rid of the basketball before he was really doubled out on the perimeter.
Oh, McDonald has it erased by Kanata, but nice job by Garnett on the follow. Holland from Coffeyville Community College is really having an outstanding junior season here for Northern Kentucky. Vermont West will try from 3. It's short. Tracked down by Carson Williams.
We've seen West have some good ball games and had a good look just now for the Mountaineers. Just couldn't get it to drop.
Into Williams, and Williams will be fouled as Kanata. You mentioned he likes to try to block everything. He's got one, and
exactly
Williams, a nice job getting him in the air there.
Number 50, Sagabal Kanate is first.
The one thing that Northern Kentucky has done early on to the Mountaineers, once they are able to break the press and get the ball in the front court, they've done a good job of spacing and hitting the open man.
Williams hits the first free throw. 68% free throw shooter on the season.
Where a lot of teams run into trouble, once they cross half court, guards have a tendency to turn their back to the basket, which they really can't see what's going on behind them. Northern Kentucky has not done that and been pretty successful at finding some open guys.
Williams hits them both. And Northern Kentucky up by a pair. Two teams on 6-game winning streaks. They're going to call Garnett for a foul. He's pleading his case. He's being wrapped by Issa. That's what
yes,
he said.
Issa Mott had good position inside, was calling for the basketball. Official standing right there, saw the grab.
And Garnett will come out, and Garrett will go in.
Yeah, Garnett's still pleading his case that Issa Mott was hooking him inside.
How much of that could you get away with as a post player yourself?
If you did it at the right time, quite a bit.
Carter, three-pointer. Off the mark. Soaring rebound for Jeff Garrett.
We have to be impressed with the way that Northern Kentucky has been boxing out.
Tried to lob to the athletic freshman Carson Williams, but didn't connect still. Northern Kentucky with the ball. Watkins back in guarding McDonald. So McDonald bringing those big guys well away from the basket. Here's Holland. Tough shot, created a little room. Nice little nudge off on the contact there in the finish. And it's a 4-point lead again.
If the Mountaineer guards can go inside like that, I can too. That's what Hollins is thinking.
Very, very impressive player, Levon Holland, averaging just under 16 points per game. Ten on the shot clock. Carter draws the contact on Garrett and will go to the free throw line.
Foul whistle on number 4, Jeff Garrett. Second, team foul number 7.
There's Holland.
The big thing about Holland is that he's been under control the entire ball game here. He has not been rattled at all by the West Virginia Heat. Now again, you have to see how well that goes as the game goes along and fatigue begins to sit in some.
Ron Carter missed the first free throw. He's an 83% free throw shooter. West Virginia's gone almost 3 minutes now without scoring. Northern Kentucky's been able to take the lead. And Carter, that drought continues for the Mountaineers.
Mountaineers really been struggling lately from the free throw line.
And you get the foul call on Javon Carter. Under 10 minutes remaining, so Northern Kentucky trying to come in here and pull an upset, certainly hanging around early, not doing more than hanging around, they're leading.
Rob, we've seen a number of the games in the non-conference ball games that were over by this time.
Absolutely.
You know, but not today. Northern Kentucky has ideas of its own.
Holland and Carter, they're going to call this an over and back. Holland, again, looked to be under control, just dribbled off his foot, and that was that. Yep, good call by the officials.
Of course, Holland's handling the basketball the majority of the time. He's averaging 4 turnovers a game. So, you know, he's going to flip it over some to you.
.20 is a shot on the shot clock as Carter gives to Watkins. Watkins inside, good move, soft finish.
Watkins looked determined to get that shot up on the board. Nice, strong move.
Grandparents, I'm sure, happy with that. Nice to see him up from Sulphur Springs, right?
Yes, come up to spend the holidays, so.
Tough. Carter really, Garrett really led McDonald to the line there. As we take a look at the folks.
The elder Bakers, yes.
Give a shout out to them, huh?
Yes, I can.
All right. There's their grandson, Brandon Watkins. Your sister's son. Myers, tough shot. Ooh, boy. Another Brooklyn shot. Huh? We got our Brooklyn guys out here doing a little playground stuff.
These don't happen in practice. This is totally playground.
Williams thought about it, but really good job of Carter coming back to deny him. The lead pass to Garrett. I thought he drew some contact there. No call. Mountaineers, chance to take the lead.
Seen very few fast breaks for the Mountaineers. The North's doing a good job of getting back.
Under 10 on the shot clock. Good pass by Adrian inside. Carter misses, draws the contact. Will go to the free throw line when we return. So Northern Kentucky and West Virginia with 7:56 remaining in the first half, tied at 21. The Pens play the New Jersey Devils at PPG Paints Arena tonight after WVU basketball, starting with Pens pregame presented by Levin Furniture and Mattress on Root Sports. The Penguins coming off a shellacking, frankly.
Pretty good spanking, wasn't it?
Last night in Columbus. They've had a few of those this year. Washington also beat them 7-1. They've had 3 other 4-goal losses, all been on the road, but they've managed to bounce back pretty well. They were 8-0-2 in the month before they lost that one.
And the Blue Jackets are playing good hockey, too.
Great hockey.
Yes.
Franchise record, 11 consecutive victories.
Now the lineup on the North.
So Northern Kentucky, 9 players playing their first Division I action. They've been able to fold that into a pretty competitive team. And the Mountaineers, this has been one of their issues here tonight. 1 for 4 from the free throw line. As Carter goes to shoot, now 2 for 5. Also 0 for 6 from three-point range. So their baskets really, the rest of their work from the floor, 10 of 14. They've been able to get in deep and score some easier baskets.
In the paint, yes.
Carter will help that free throw percentage by hitting a pair and giving the Mountaineers a 2-point lead. Holland able to get it across again. Northern Kentucky doing a good job with the West Virginia full court pressure. Garrett will try the three-pointer, in and out. Williams keeps it alive. Nice rebound by Carson Williams, and they're going to call Brandon Watkins with a block that the crowd here does not like.
That's his first, team foul number 5.
Yeah, little contact initiated by the offense, but they're going to, they said there's going to be a point of emphasis for calling that foul on the defender.
There's McDonald, and now they're going to get him on the handoff for a block. It seemed to be kind of a tough call coming back the other way there as well. So
mentally, sometimes if you're an official, if you think that something may not have gone the right way the first time, it can be what they can say a makeup call at the other end.
Northern Kentucky into his zone defense here. Ahmad open, missed it, rebound, pulled down by Garnett.
Really doing a nice job of boxing out.
Garnett tries to go to McDonald, who then flung it across, really got himself in no man's. Good job by Watkins. Carter to steal, back the other way to Myers. Three-pointer on the way, too strong. Rebound to Adrian, foul called inside.
34.
They eventually look for West Virginia's strength inside to take over. Northern Kentucky has done a pretty good job of boxing out to this point, but eventually you think that the size is going to wear. West Virginia continuing to rotate bigs in and out.
Adrian hits the first. He's a 75% free throw shooter. Rebounds even. We mentioned West Virginia, the big size advantage, but Northern Kentucky has been very persistent on the boards this year. They've out-rebounded 11 of their 12 opponents. They're 10th in the nation in rebounding margin.
Yeah. You know,
Faulkner soars for that rebound.
And again, rebounding is one of those things where it's just hard work all the time. And then they've been putting the work in, and you can see it paying off.
Holland being guarded by Ahmad. 15 on the shot clock. Holland, the hesitation move, gets in. Oh my, Levon Holland. A gorgeous move. The basket counts and a chance for a three-point play.
Boy, Bob Huggins is not going to be happy with that. He just shredded the defense, went right through everybody, and then throws up a circus shot that goes down.
Basket is good by Holland.
Oh, is that a pretty shot by Levon Holland? Holland has 7. 69% free throw shooter. And Holland has 8. And we are tied back up at 24.
Boy, a lot of this done with Cole Murray on the bench, one of their bigger scorers. He's got 2 personal fouls. More of a 3-2 zone that Northern Kentucky is playing right now.
Kept alive by Adrian once, twice, a third time. Nathan Adrian persistent on the boards.
Well, going to that 3-2 zone, you don't have, block-out responsibilities. It's much more difficult out of that zone than it is out of a man-to-man.
Lost the headband as well, by the way. Took it and flung it off the court. Faulkner to Gillis. And now just able to get into their offense with 12 on the shot clock. Holland a long distance 3, part of the rebound. And turnover as it skips off the hands of Macon. Holland to Carson Williams, flings in the corner. And was looking for Faulkner there. Faulkner didn't read the play the same way, so a turnover. And now, you talked about it. Maybe a little fatigue setting in, and we're seeing the turnovers start to mount. Just 2 in the first 10 minutes, and now those turnover numbers beginning to creep up a little bit.
Well, and what Northern Kentucky did early on too, Robert, they had some of their bigs handling the basketball. That's okay, but you can't have a steady diet of that. Something usually is bad if you have your bigs handling the ball the whole time.
Making turns, faces, misses. Being scrambled for. Kept alive, and now, what's the call going to be?
Quite a scramble.
Sorting things
jump
out.
Ball.
They call it jump ball. It will be Northern Kentucky basketball.
Jump ball, possession arrow to the north.
And Nathan Adrian gets his headband back. With the long locks, we've seen a variety of different hairdos for Nathan Adrian. This appears to be the Samson variety because he has been really good this year. Certainly his best season as a member of the Mountaineers. Kanate checks in for Macon. West Virginia, we talked about the turnovers. Defense already starting to settle in a little bit better.
Oh, yeah.
Northern Kentucky got that really fast start. 6 of 7, now 3 of 9 in her last 9 field goal attempts.
Yeah, I really like the way, though, Holland has his head up with the pressure coming at him so that he can see the entire floor.
Gillis, head fake, a lot of contact, no call. Under 5 minutes remaining. Mountaineers up by a pair. Ahmad, strong move, and Murray got his hand in there, but also with that picked up his 3rd personal foul.
When that's huge.
Foul whistle to Cole Murray, picks up his 3rd personal.
Hasn't played that much. Boy, yep, but called. A lot of body there.
Shooting 2.
Now Cole Murray averaging 10 points a ball game, but he's going to have to sit at least the rest of this half and maybe the beginning of the second half with those 3 fouls.
Ahmad misses the Mountaineers. Just 4 of 9 from the free throw line. You can imagine that would be a point of contention for Bob Huggins in his much anticipated chat with Robbie and Smikowski at the end of the first half.
Free throw shooting has avoided the Mountaineers from time to time.
Makes that one. West able to come in, and Northern Kentucky in a position to be able to or West Virginia be in a position to set up the press now as well with a made free throw. West bats that one down. Now McDonald won't be able to run the baseline.
No, he won't. That's a spot. One of the officials over at the scorer's table. Don't know what that was about. Ray Natilli, the other official, stopped the proceedings. He saw one of his brothers over at the scorer's table.
Ooh. Boy, I thought that was intended for McDonald, but Williams was standing right behind him. Williams trying to go to work, got himself caught in the air, finds Faulkner though. Holland takes a 3, now a step back 3, tough shot Holland. Rebound to McDonald, back to Holland again in the corner. Holland tried to go backdoor to Williams, read by the Mountaineers. Phillips spinning, taking it to the basket, tough fadeaway. It's blocked, and now Faulkner in trouble, gives it right back to Myers, to Kanate for the finish.
Nice play by Myers. Kanate ready for the basketball. Was looking for one of those thunderous dunks, but not that time. Just laid it in.
Here's Garrett, and Garrett will get the basket, and the foul is going to be called on Nathan Adrian. Chance for a 3-point play for Jeff Garrett. Just when you think West Virginia's getting a little traction and maybe blow Northern Kentucky away, the Norse answer. Kanate with a finish here, and the Mountaineers are up by 3.
The Mountaineers at one point in this first half trailed by 8 points. Now with 3:40 remaining, they have a 3-point lead, and that means the halftime report is coming up in short order. Bob Huggins, I'll have a chat with him. You certainly never want to miss what he has to say. Maybe we'll ask about this confrontation here, or discussion, I should say, he's having right now with the official. And sometimes we save the best for last. We had the players imitate their 800 wins and counting head coach Bob Huggins. You don't want to miss their impression of the lead Mountaineer here at the WVU Coliseum, and also stats and highlights. Robin Warren all coming your way shortly on the halftime report.
Both coaches, I don't know if I've ever seen that. Bob Huggins way out and John Brannon way out as the teams took the floor here. We had 5 players and 2 coaches just squarely out on the floor. As that's free throws missed by Jordan Garnett.
Northern Kentucky back to the straight man-to-man. Saw that they were having some rebounding problems out of that zone, so they're back man.
Mount West looking for somewhere to go. 5 in the shot clock. This is Phillip. Phillip, step back, high, arcing shot, too strong. Rebound battled for, and Konate out-wrestles Gillis and converts.
You're not going to win many battles with Konate as far as strength goes.
Blake Spellman in trouble. Near turnover, got it back. And they're just able to get it across the timeline. And going, the denial from Williams at the rim. And again. And one more time, this time Gillis able to finish.
Boy, you can't fault Konate's effort there, though. He was.
Myers misses the shot, and now Northern Kentucky looking to run. The trailer is Gillis, and Gillis is fouled by Phillip. Bob Huggins wanted a foul on the one end. We do get one called on this end. 2 West Virginia Mountaineers down right now, Adrian and West.
Konate grimacing some here, but boy, what a great effort out of him inside, denying shots.
He met Williams at the rim, and you can see from that angle that Williams had a little more momentum. He can really jump. Now, yes. Konate's a bigger player. Williams can really jump, and Konate at the rim now with the denial, and officials still out on the floor. They're looking at something. We're not sure what.
Sags and some discomfort there. I don't know. Couldn't see exactly what it. There's so much traffic inside. May have been one of those things where you bump knees with someone. It feels like the knee's going to come off when it happens. It's usually not anything that's serious, if indeed that did happen. But it does give you some pain at the time it happens.
And the officiating crew is over at the scorer's table. Ray Natili, along with Marcus Pettigrew, who we're seeing out on the floor. Andrew Walton over there as well. So Natili and Walton trying to get a look on something here. So let's see what it is. Let's take a look at the sequence of events.
Well, that was a
clearly
foul
on Phillip.
That was on Phillip, but I didn't see anything that would lead them to think. I don't know if it was other things that went on inside or not.
The Mountaineers with 4 players at the scorer's table. They will retreat. Rejoin the West Virginia huddle. You can see Sags Konate toweling himself off, obviously in some discomfort.
I didn't see anything that, if indeed this is what they're looking at, may have been something that happened behind the basketball. There was a couple of collisions.
Well, we saw Faulkner and West
yes.
behind the play. Northern Kentucky's broken their huddle. West Virginia has broken theirs. And here's one more look.
Northern Kentucky had numbers, 2-on-1, excellent draw, and then the pass. Yep.
Well, it's hard to see it from that angle.
Lamont West and Faulkner getting tied up.
They certainly got tied up, whether there's any issue or not. Doesn't look there is.
After review, the foul is whistled at number 12, Tariq Phillip, his first.
So Phillip is called for the personal foul. his first.
Free throw line for the Norse, number 13.
And a pair of free throws for Brendan Gillis, who's converted 8 of his 11 attempts heading into this game on the season. Sophomore from Indianapolis. This is the first.
Northern Kentucky not helping themselves right now at the free throw line. It's certainly been a competitive ball game up to this point. If you mentioned to John Brandon that he'd be down just 2 points with 2 to go in the first half, would he take it? Yes, I'm sure he would. Back in that zone now. It's a 2-3 zone this time.
Dantes Walton has checked in for Northern Kentucky. And he's probing. Ahmad now with 8 in the shot clock. Daxter Miles Jr. deflected out of bounds at 5 on the shot clock.
Northern Kentucky really active in that zone. West Virginia having a hard time getting that ball to the middle.
Here's Carter off the inbound play and nails a three-pointer.
Walked right into that
three-pointer they've hit in the game. They had been empty from the three-point range to that point, 0 for their first 7.
West Virginia more of a 1-2-2 set with their full court press that time. Usually it's a run and jump.
Faulkner now. And Brandon wants a timeout.
Timeout. All about the
With
Norse.
1:31 remaining. This Northern Kentucky team, when you look at John Brandon's squad, the only senior, really of any note, Cole Murray, is the only one that sees considerable time. They brought in a recruit in the signing period, a 7-footer, first 7-footer in school history. So John Brandon, known to be a terrific recruiter at Alabama, he's at VCU, St. Bonaventure, really had earned that reputation, has done a nice job here with Northern Kentucky. And Carson Williams, the latest in these fine recruits, Kentucky's Mr. Basketball from a year ago.
As you said, if you're Mr. Basketball in the state of Kentucky, you're a pretty doggone good player. Decided to stay in state, go to, well, I tell you what, those are tough shots inside that he gets up over bigger guys.
I mentioned very athletic player at 6'5" and built like a tight end. Was trying to get up for the jam, and Kanate at 6'8", 250. That's a meeting of 2 large men, and the larger men won the battle that time with a rejection on the dunk attempt. So now Dantes Walton will inbound for Northern Kentucky. 11 on the shot clock, 1:31 left in the first half. They get it into Garnett. He lobs in the corner. Walton, 3 on the shot clock. Garnett will have to hoist up a desperation 3 on target. Too long. Rebound pulled down by Watkins.
Really not much out of that timeout with the shot clock running down.
Oh my, Murray called for a foul there?
32.
No,
Yep.
they called it on Dantes
Yeah, he was
Walton.
in the vicinity. I know they want Murray's offense, but I'd have to believe that he's probably going to come out of the basketball game. I didn't think he would be back in. Minute and 4 seconds. You certainly wouldn't want him to pick up a 4th foul before intermission.
Faulkner getting set to check in. Miles hits the first.
Faulkner.
And he is coming in fact, for Murray as you forecast.
You want his offense at the other end, but you know the way West Virginia is cutting and going to the basket, you certainly don't want him to pick up a cheap foul on the reach.
And Miles hits them both. Mountaineers lead at 7. Largest lead of the game for the Mountaineers. Howland alert for that double team. Gets it to Garnett. He skips to Faulkner. Open, 3-pointer. No good, so Northern Kentucky's cooled down.
Yep.
Lead at 7 for the Mountaineers as we approach 40 seconds remaining. Trailers Adrian. 3 is on the way, off the mark, and batted away to Faulkner. 6-second differential between the play and game clock. Garnett skips to Walton, three-pointer, short. Rebound to McDonald. Able to get it to Holland. Shot clock is off. Faulkner to Holland, now 10 seconds left. Holland will draw it back out, look for a screen, now waves it away. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Hesitation move, pulls up from 3, in and out, and that won't do it for the first half. So West Virginia, a cold start, but they come on towards the end of the first half. Two teams that have 6-game winning streaks, and the Mountaineers right now with a 7-point lead as we head over to Robbie and Coach Bob Huggins.
Yeah, that 7-point lead, the largest of the game. What kind of challenges are Northern Kentucky presenting you on both ends, offensively and defensively, in the first half?
Well, obviously, they've done a pretty good job against the pressure, and we just haven't made any free throws. We've missed open cutters, and we've missed free throws.
When you face a team like this, they got good ball handlers in the post, and the point guard, Holland, is pretty good. How much does this replicate Big 12 play, which you might see after tonight, what you will see after tonight the rest of the way?
I honestly haven't worried about that yet. We're worried about the task at hand, and as soon as this is over with, I'll worry about that.
All right, what's going to take the next 20 minutes then to win?
Well, they're going to foul us at the end. We're obviously going to have to make free throws better than we've made free throws. We haven't rebounded it very well, and we're missing open cutters and open shots.
Thanks, Bob.
Yep.
All right, guys.
All right, Robbie, thanks very much. Coming up, as West Virginia with a 7-point lead in their final game before Big 12 conference play, is the halftime show here on Root Sports. Warren and I have highlights, first half analysis, and a Coach Huggins impersonation from his players when we return. First half highlights of the game, and a very fast start, Warren, for Northern Kentucky.
Well, Carson Williams is a good-looking freshman. They've been Freshman of the Week 2 times already this year in the Horizon League, and really took the game to West Virginia inside early on. But Tariq Phillips carried the Mountaineers for a while with his 8 points early.
Yeah, we saw Levon Holland, he and Williams with 8 apiece. Phillip with 8 off the bench for West Virginia, and among the starters, Javon Carter, the only 3-pointer the Mountaineers hit, as they were 1 for 9 from three-point range, came from Carter on this shot off the inbound play with the shot clock expiring, helping the Mountaineers to a 7-point lead. What are you seeing here when you look at the statistics?
Well, the big thing, the 1 for 9, and then West Virginia, looking at the stat sheet here, not there, they're still getting out-rebounded by Northern Kentucky.
And the turnovers, too, just 2 in the first 10 minutes, 10 in the second 10 forced by Press Virginia, as Northern Kentucky comes out in a man-to-man defense. Here's Carter, 10 on the shot clock. Watkins will try, 17 feet, it's good for Brandon Watkins.
You're seeing Watkins expand his range now, and West Virginia right back with the press. The first 3-4 minutes, very important for Northern Kentucky. They've done a good job of hanging around with West Virginia. They can't afford to have West Virginia come out with a big blitz here early on.
And quick 3 attempted by McDonald off the head of McDonald inside. I beg your pardon, the 3 was attempted by Murray. Murray has not had any shot attempts. He had those the early 3, then the layup, and then I'm sure in a little foul trouble, itching to get one off.
Itching to get one off, exactly.
Personal foul whistled. Watkins trying to find somewhere to go with the ball. Will just take it himself. Jump hook in the lane, off the mark. Rebound to McDonald.
West Virginia pressing as we see them do so often after the miss.
Strong move there by Jordan Garnett, the junior from Indianapolis.
And Garnett absorbed a lot of contact, no foul calls, still had the strength to get it up and in.
Lead remains 7. Carter faking the 3. 12 on the shot clock as Ahmad draws some contact and gets the roll. Garnett thought maybe a little bit of a push-off.
Issa Ahmad's such a tough matchup for another 6'8" with his ability to put the ball on the deck and go.
And McDonald has his pocket picked by Javon Carter.
You put the ball around Carter on the floor, and he's going to make you pay.
And Ahmad, it looks like Brandon might want a timeout here.
Again, this is an important part of the ball game for him and his Norse. You don't want West Virginia to come out on a big run. West Virginia starting off good here in the second half.
Lead is swollen to 11, largest of the game for the Mountaineers. Inside and stripped again by Carter, but he's on the end line. Boy, Carter, those quick hands.
You can see why he's among the steals leaders in the nation each year.
Phillip in for Daxter Miles Jr. Donald being guarded very closely. They're not letting, or Murray, they're not letting Murray get any room. Not much help on the defense. Holland driving. Williams well off. Rebound to Garnett. Oh, McDonald was open, or Murray was open. They couldn't get in the ball, and now Adrian, Murray's got 3 on him, so he's just got to let him go. And the lead now is 13 for West Virginia.
Yeah, John Brandon needs a timeout. Really feel like they need to call one.
Under a minute to the 16-minute mark. McDonald swatted by Watkins. Lead out to Phillip. Fakes, takes it himself, converts, and Brandon wants a timeout, and he is hot. Oh, he has been issued a technical foul, so not a timeout call, but a technical foul issued on Brandon, who was hot that no foul was called.
Well, there's been quite a bit of contact, but that's been going both ways in this ball game. I think it may be a little frustration that he sees something that they've really, really built up and playing good with West Virginia beginning to slip away a little bit.
An 8-0 West Virginia run. Here's Phillip, able to take it in and finish, trying to draw a little contact.
He did. He was trying to draw some contact.
And Bob Huggins hurrying his team off. He thought, as we did, that there was a timeout called. Instead, it was a technical foul. Adrian will shoot the free throw for the Mountaineers, who lead by 15 at this point. And now 16, a 9-0 West Virginia run. And gets the roll to make it a 10-0 West Virginia run. You know, when you talk about the physical play and it going both ways, I mean, first of all, we know the way West Virginia wants to play. Northern Kentucky's been scrappy. They've been a very good rebounding team. John Brandon still having the discussion. But you'd have to think that if they let them play, it's going to favor West Virginia.
It certainly is. And, you know, there's a lot of contact a lot of times. Huggins gets upset with the fouls that are called. But the officials aren't going to call all of them. If they called every time there was contact, you never would get the basketball game in. So some of those have to let them go.
They originally wanted to give the ball to West Virginia. Oh, Adrian with a block, and they're going to whistle Ahmad with a foul. Let's take a look at this. And, you know, they were going to give the ball to West Virginia after the technical. And they realized it was Northern Kentucky ball, so that didn't make John Brandon any happier either. And he had to point it out to the officials, hey, that's supposed to be our ball. So John Brandon not very happy right now. Williams hits the first. Elijah Macon in for Brandon Watkins. Not so fast.
Getting a little counseling.
Williams hits them both, so that ends that 10-0 run. Lead is still at 15 for West Virginia.
Well, when you're struggling to score sometimes, free throw line is what you really need to break that streak, and that's exactly what Northern Kentucky was able to do.
Adrian, three-pointer, too strong. Oh, Carter has been everywhere in the second half. Ahmad down in the blocks. Adrian spins. Adrian converts.
See, Nate Adrian doing a much better job this year of getting down on that low box and posting up. Again, West Virginia forcing Northern Kentucky bigs to handle the basketball.
Holland skips, extra pass. McDonald on the way, 3 off the mark. Garnett the rebound. His shot no good and batted out of bounds. It'll be Northern Kentucky ball when we return. But West Virginia coming out strong. Their 7-point lead is now 17. Nathan Adrian and the Mountaineers at 15:38, up big over Northern Kentucky.
You
got some friends there?
Oh, yeah. That family there.
Well, there's some young fans getting ready for the holidays.
Your shopping done?
We may do a little bonus shopping. And you get it done early, you get the itch to buy more, right? That's the problem with getting it done early. Done and wrapped. How about you?
No.
Oh,
well, I'll tell you what. Javon Carter, you're not even safe taking the ball out of bounds with him around.
He has just been a force here in the second half. Upset with himself for coming down on the inbounds line.
I think he's pleading the case that he may have gotten rid of that ball before he landed.
I want to make sure that the 30-second clock is at 30. Inbounded to Murray. To Gillis and now Williams. Boy, West Virginia, just not a lot of room out there. And Williams, the basket, and they're going to call the block on Carter.
Boy, Carter's down.
Basket by Williams.
Now, you saw Williams' explosive ability there, but Carter, from this vantage point, really appeared to be set. Oh, my. Is he inside the cylinder?
If your feet are anywhere inside of there, even your heel on the line, they're going to call it a block.
Yeah, so he was there. I think that's the call, right? He was there in position, but just didn't get out far enough beyond that arc.
Nope.
Missed the attempted three-point play. Kayvon Myers has checked in for the Mountaineers. Lead at 15 for West Virginia. Looking for a 7th consecutive victory.
Going to call Elijah Macon on an illegal screen.
All whistled on Elijah Macon, his second, team foul number 3.
Bob Huggins looking for an audience with his coaching staff.
Yep. Did not give, Elijah need to give a room just to make a basketball move. A lot of times we see that block that they called on Macon go, but the official standing right there said no, that was an illegal screen.
Couple quick whistles here. Going against West Virginia. Batted out of bounds. That's Philip Carter combination. I mean, you know, taking nothing away from Miles and Myers, who are fine defenders too, but these guys very good the other night against Radford, and another good game between the two of them here today. Holland in trouble. Boy, all you can do just to get the ball out of trouble. Now 12 on the shot clock. They're going to call another personal foul against West Virginia. And it's going to be on Macon again. Third on Elijah Macon.
He took one of the chops too. Yeah, just a little bit too close. Really, no need to really get that close just now. They had him in a pretty good trap. Watkins having to come back in for Macon with those 3 fouls.
Inbounded to Gillis. Williams skips out to Murray. And a reach-in foul. And a chance for Garrett to go to the free throw line. And Bob Huggins wants to know what's going on. His team has been whistled for 4 fouls in rapid succession.
At the line for the North, Jeff Garrett, 2 shots.
Another transfer from Alabama, Jeff Garrett at the free throw line. Crowd likes that.
You know, you see a lot of fouls with a ton of contact, or fouls that aren't called with a ton of contact, and then you see others. The way they called that on Phillip looked like he was just...
Well, he missed them both. Well, if anything, it looked like Watkins may have moved into his path.
Exactly.
Oh, Myers hesitation, dribble in the finish.
Nobody looks like they have more fun playing basketball.
Oh, absolutely. Able to break the pressure again. Nice turnaround, left-handed delivery from Brennan Gillis. Lead remaining at 15. Watkins, jump hook. Adrian rebound, and there's going to be an over the back foul call. And is that on Murray? That is going to be Murray's fourth. And a bit of a Bronx cheer here for the crowd that finally sees one whistled against Northern Kentucky in their opinion. So Murray just has had all kinds of trouble with fouls today. Adrian spins, jump hook. Nope. Garrett right to the basket.
Basket by Garrett.
Watkins has to break down on that.
Get a little lower there, maybe.
Lower, yes.
Myers step through. Tavon Myers.
Boy, he can make some awfully difficult shots. I think he likes to get himself in trouble to see him wiggle out of it. See himself wiggle out of it.
Williams to Faulkner in the corner. Try to set the offense. And again, as we've talked about, you know, a lot of times once that pressure, teams that do pressure, and the ball is out of bounds, lost by Holland. Once the team pressure, they'll kind of fall back and allow the team to get into their offense. Western Union just keeps coming.
That's exactly
you
right.
think, oh, I can dribble out to the top of the key and maybe, you know, get our team into the offense. And Western Union doesn't allow that. It's relentless pressure. As Carter checks out, Baxter Miles Jr. back in the game for the Mountaineers.
And it's really magnified when the other team gets tired and they start throwing over. West Virginia will feast on those turnovers because of fatigue.
Tavon Myers draws the contact on Faulkner. Freshman from Glasgow, Kentucky.
Tavon with the green light to drive and go to the hoop. If he's not making them, he's getting there to shoot free throws.
76% free throw shooter. Then he makes the first.
You didn't see it last year, but you can see now why he led the junior college in scoring.
Absolutely. Totally different player. The
totally
confidence level.
That's the big thing, Rob. You're exactly right.
Then he hits them both. You're seeing Nathan Adrian. I mean, he has blossomed as a player.
Sure.
Issa Ahmad coming along, obviously a night and day between his freshman season and sophomore season, as you would expect. Faulkner ahead to Garrett. Ooh, Garrett finishes at the rim.
Wow.
And you can see why Alabama recruited him, right?
Yes,
Had some explosion there. Ooh, Myers spin move. This one no good.
A little bit, get a little bit too much one-on-one at times.
Oh, Gillis denied by Watkins. The big block at the rim.
And that's what you can do when you have somebody back there to protect the rim for you.
And here's Myers. They're going to get Faulkner with a foul as Myers crashes hard to the floor here at the WVU Coliseum, but pops back up.
Talk about that Energizer Bunny. Nice bounce pass.
And Faulkner was trying to get out of the way. And they're taking a look at this now to see if this is I have a hard time believing there's much there. Faulkner looked like he was just trying to get out of the way to me.
They're seeing something that you and I aren't from our vantage point. I think the biggest thing is they don't want anybody to get hurt, and if they think there was anything, I didn't see anything there that I thought was malicious or anything like that. But when guys go crashing to the floor, the officials are trying to err.
They're going to call a flagrant 1 on Faulkner.
Wow. Okay.
Well, you wonder again. It was Faulkner they were looking at earlier. Remember, he got tangled up with one of the Mountaineer players, and they couldn't get a very good look at it around half court. So Tavon Myers will step up for the Mountaineers.
Take a look at this again here and just see where we think it might have been. Well, maybe he ducked under him a little bit
maybe
there.
Maybe they thought he moved the posterior into Myers, and that's what flipped him over. I think the message is this year in college basketball is that you're going to err on the side of player safety.
Safety, yes.
And so if there's any question at all, because if you paint a line in a certain area, if you get into that gray area and you don't make a call, then where does that lead you down the road?
Well, it just leads to more and more. Excellent inbounds play. Northern Kentucky fell completely asleep. West Virginia's run that play a zillion times on the out of bounds, and Northern Kentucky, I know, has seen it and actually scouted against it, but fell asleep just now.
Lead is 19. And their leading scorer, Drew McDonald with the ball here, has not scored in the game, averaging over 17 points per game. West Virginia has held him scoreless. Another personal foul called. And it'll be on Brandon Watkins as we head to a break. The Mountaineers pulling away up 60-41.
Well, the Mountaineers have opened this one up with 11 minutes and 43 seconds remaining, a 19-point lead. Well, Bob Huggins won his 800th career game on Saturday, and the next day on Sunday, he did a lot of good here in the community by bringing the entire Mountaineer team to the Ruby Memorial Hospital right here on the campus of West Virginia University to visit the children's floor. The children's ICU, they visited 32 kids, gave away autographed mini balls, posters. They also sung Christmas carols, and of course, Santa Claus made an appearance as well. And by the way, in case you might be wondering, who was that Santa Claus? It was Nate Adrian who played Santa Claus. Everyone else, they were simply elves. And I asked Nate Adrian about it. I said, hey, this is my first time being Santa. I said, well, how did you end up being selected to be Santa Claus that day? He said, hey, I was selected, and I was happy to do it. Somebody has to be Santa Claus, right?
Not a bad role to play. Merry Christmas to you, Robbie, by the way. Getting ready for the holidays.
Devin Williams was Santa Claus last year. I think the goggles gave him away, though.
Yeah, good to see that. That's part of being in the public eye, right? Kept alive and batted out of bounds through the Northern Kentucky basketball. Part of the responsibility, been a student athlete.
Certainly.
And it seems like the guys do it willingly,
yes,
right?
Yes, they do. Especially when they go to the hospital. But our West Virginia's guys are great with just the kids here that aren't suffering from any type of issues at the time. Really good to take the time.
It's been a tough game for Drew McDonald, the freshman who made his debut against the Mountaineers a year ago and had a strong game and really having trouble getting started in this one.
Again, he's been asked to bring the ball up the court, which is a duty that he does not do. Wow, a little miscommunication here. Bob Huggins not happy with Issa Ahmad after that play.
No. Quizzical look. And now more than a quizzical look. Off the stool, still talking.
Fortunately for some of you guys, the treadmill's not hooked up right now.
No, that's right. Baxter Miles Jr. getting set to check into the game as John Brandon wants a timeout.
Called by Northern Kentucky.
So we're going to take a break. 10:54 remaining. The Mountaineers up 60-41. Nathan Adrian, 9 points, 8 rebounds, 3 steals.
You know, and I talk about it all the time. There's so many other things he does that won't show up on the stat sheet, but Nate really has become a leader. You see it in practice, and you see it on the court with his effort, too. Talk about leading by example.
Be very curious. Obviously, you have Lamont West, other guys that can play the forward position. They can go with 3 guards, but be very curious to see how Adrian Ahmad match up in the Big 12 because they have been very, very good in the preseason. There's Gillis, and he is left-handed. Nice move in the lane. I think John Brandon has to be happy with his team's compete level here because I think when you come in and you get a lead and you're playing against the 11th ranked team in the country and you're trying to make a name for yourself and your program and you have that lead and then suddenly you realize it's not it's not going to happen. You could fold, and they just have not folded.
Now, Gillis is left-handed, which I always thought was an advantage. Sometimes you've got to overplay that left a little bit more and make him see if he can do something with his right hand.
You saw that quite a bit, right? He overplays to the left hand.
Yes.
You have to come up with some sort of move back to your right, right? Keep
Northern
guys
Kentucky
honest.
back in that zone again. We saw them play some zone, but really have trouble rebounding out of it.
There's Phillip. 3-pointers, good for Tariq Phillip. What was your move when you went from left and we went back to the right? Whoa, as Faulkner came crashing into our broadcast area, Mason Faulkner.
A lot of it was like that, running into a table or something. No, it didn't
Look,
really
I got some help right here.
have a signature move or anything. It was just trying to
Thanks for looking out for me.
shoot it, miss it, get it, and stick it back in.
Say that again now.
Shoot it, miss it, get it, and stick it back in. That way you get a rebound, too.
Faulkner hits the first. A little trouble finding his stroke. He talked about him earlier, averaging 35.9 points per game, tops in the state of Kentucky. Eventually, they think he's going to be a really good offensive player for him. Able to hit 2 here. Oh, Phillip, way downtown. Missed it and tried to get his own. Really good hustle. As Gillis was able to keep it alive. Faulkner kind of had that on his hip, and he's going to draw the foul. As I believe it's going to be on Lamont West.
I think it is.
Crowd thought maybe a travel there.
Call for the foul. His first, team's 9. Line for the North, Mason Faulkner.
It's been rare that you see teams really get any fast breaks on West Virginia. And West Virginia hadn't seen that a whole lot, so you really got to communicate on that back line.
Nate Adrian.
Faulkner able to get all the way to the basket. You've got to talk and really try to cut that off. Make him give up the basketball.
And tougher, right, because you're pressing on the one end?
Yes.
And committing so many players in the first 48 feet of the court. As Faulkner hits them both. Are you just, when you have a press like this, as long as you're getting your turnovers, you can accept maybe a little higher opponent shooting percentage?
Sure,
because you know you're going to give them some easy ones, right?
That's exactly right.
Carter thought about the 3. Into Watkins instead. Jump hook. Off the mark. Faulkner the rebound.
Good look by Watkins.
There's Holland. He'll go to Williams. Miles got a hand on it. Williams tried to force it up. And once again there for another block is Brandon Watkins. And the pass into Watkins. The easy finish and the foul on Gillis.
Good look by Carter. Again, when your bigs run the floor, your guards will find them. They get rewarded. Watkins with a block at one end and then a nice pass from Carter inside.
Brandon Watkins, 1 shot.
Unofficially now 3 blocks for Brandon Watkins. 7 for West Virginia as a team. Missed the free throw. Been getting better in that department. Watkins was 2 for 8. Came in 10 for his last 15. Missed that one. Murray checks in for Williams. 18-point lead for Bob Huggins' West Virginia Mountaineers, looking to improve to 11-1 in the season. Ranked 11th in the country. Daxter Miles Jr.
Oh boy. Dax had a long time to think about how he was going to throw that one down.
You don't get that open that
No.
often. Murray in trouble. Oh, what a finish by Jordan Garnett.
Foul is called on Brandon Watkins.
Watkins picks up the personal foul.
His third.
Team foul number 10.
Under 8.5 minutes remaining,
Line
and
for the Norse, Garnett, 1 shot.
again, the Norse continuing to battle. They're picked to finish 7th in the Horizon League, and Oakland and Valparaiso have done nothing to disabuse the notion that they're top teams. But Northern Kentucky, you know, receiving votes now at the 24th. Actually, they're ranked in the mid-major poll.
Right.
So they have, and we'll see, obviously, when Horizon League play opens, but look like they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. Miles a little flat on that three-point attempt. Holland skips out to Murray, open. Missed the 3. And now an over-the-back foul. Going to be called
Number 1, Jordan Garnett.
Jordan Garnett.
Team foul number 8.
Murray with a rare look. Really, you know, it's hard to get any type of rhythm when you've been on the bench as long. And he's a guy that's used to playing, you know, many minutes of ball game, saddled with that foul trouble. Kind of tough to get your rhythm after sitting that much when you've been used to playing so much.
Right, and, you know, he hit that early 3, first shot of the game. And then the Mountaineers have not lost track of him since.
No.
Williams checks in for the North.
And I think the other thing that happens big is when the rest of the team is playing good defense. You know, if you have Holland breaking everybody down or McDonald scoring his points inside, you can do a little inside out and maybe McDonald can get open. But since those beginning stages, the half-court defense has been good enough that whoever's guarding McDonald really hasn't had to, who's been guarding Murray really hasn't had to leave him, you know, to help. Faulkner. Going to get a foul called in the lane. Looks like it's going to be against West Virginia as we head to a break. The Mountaineers are up 67-50. Daxter Miles Jr. The steal and the slam. Mountaineers up big. So West Virginia is completing the non-conference preseason portion of the schedule. They still have a game against Texas A&M coming up in the middle of Big 12 conference play, but this has been kind of the hors d'oeuvre, like your fried oysters, right? Getting ready for the main event. And you see the upcoming schedule and where West Virginia is picked. They finished 2nd in the Big 12 a year ago, picked 2nd this year. Now they're the 3rd-ranked team. It's Kansas and Baylor both ahead of them in the AP. Of course, West Virginia is ranked 11th, but you know, we'll see what happens when conference play evolves, right? Because you don't know when you get into it. It's a whole different ball game. We'll see how Jamie Dixon does down at TCU. Only 1 loss on their schedule. They open up right away against Kansas. So
right? Well,
yeah, welcome to the Big 12.
Quite a baptism for him.
Yes. And Gillis hits them both. West Virginia can't quite shake Northern Kentucky. 2-3 zone. They get it into the middle. Watkins, I think that might have been deflected. And they find Murray for a 3. He's open and off the side of the backboard. Maybe had to rush it just a hair with Tavon Myers closing in on him. Or maybe thought he had to rush it.
And staying in that zone.
14 on the shot clock as Watkins turns, faces. If that's Cole Murray, that is 5. And it is. That's Cole Murray. And he is fouled out of the basketball game.
Team foul number 9.
Yep, got him on the arm.
Levon Holland checks in for the North. Free throw line for the Mountaineers.
Holland in for
Brandon Watkins.
Murray, who's getting a little discussion with John Brandon. And Brandon Watkins to the free throw line. Missed the first.
Well, that's just tough luck right there. That ball is in, bouncing around.
Well, he displays some, a soft touch, has a nice high arc on these and his shots from the floor. Even the little jump hooks, they're not line drive. They got a very soft touch to them. Nope, missed that one too strong.
His biggest thing is going to be confidence.
Pass behind Gillis. In trouble. Boyd brought it down off the hands of Carter, and now they're going to call Gillis for a foul, I believe. Yeah. Well, that's tough.
Yeah, Watkins will have another opportunity at the free throw line.
Oh, I mean, and you can see, so John Brandon really upset there because he felt like Carter grabbed Gillis's arm. I think he may have had a point there, and then as Gillis goes down, Watkins trips over him.
Yes.
They call a foul on, and he's just not happy at all. You can see John Brandon now. A little upset as Watkins goes back to the free throw line, trying to regroup after missing 2 just moments ago. And that was good. And that makes him happy, huh?
Yes, maybe. I think they're awake.
Can we get their names? A little something about them?
Well, I'm a junior.
Okay.
So, and it's Mary.
All right. And Brandon Watkins, the free throw in front of his grandparents, your parents. Obviously down where all that flooding was happening last year,
yes.
But were able to escape most of the difficulty.
Yeah, they were fortunate, but did lose power for quite some time. The people around the state really helped out there. I mean, it was just unbelievable the amount of aid that was sent to that area, as it was in most parts of southern West Virginia.
At the line for the
both coaches hollering at the officials. The officials are going to have cauliflower ears after this game because both coaches have been giving him the business. We saw John Brandon teed up earlier. Faulkner hitting the free throw. Lead is at 16. Making the rebound. Northern Kentucky back in the zone.
Well, that free throw area is open against the zone. Biggest thing there is just keeping good spacing.
Lofted over the top to Carter. Macon. Lost the handle, spins, and able to convert.
Stuck with it, had it knocked away. You see a lot of guys panic in that situation. Macon stuck with it, able to get the shot to go down.
Baxter Miles Jr. wants the team to slow down.
Good decision, chew a little clock.
Yep, sure.
Excellent move by Adrian to flash the high post. Tried to get the ball low to Macon.
And that is the 5th personal foul on the freshman Mason Faulkner.
The left-right chant not as strong. They're here at the right time. The student body, for the most part, gone.
And Faulkner
checking in for
having a little fun with it.
Number 2, Brandon Maxwell.
Brandon Maxwell checking in for him.
Javon Carter at the free throw line to allow here.
Won't stop until he sits down.
Yep. We saw one player, I wish I could remember who it was earlier this year, really having fun with the students.
With the crowd,
acted like he was going to sit down, then stood back up and walked around a little more. And they knew they were being razzed, the student section. There's Mason Faulkner. And as Carter hits them both, and the Mountaineers lead is at 20. Oh my, that's a long pass, easily picked off as Northern Kentucky just looks now baked like they're running out of gas.
Let's get on the bus.
We've seen this happen so often. Teams come in, it just is so relentless, this pressure. And, you know, back that up with the fact that West Virginia is so physical as Miles Jr. hits the three. Just wears on teams after a while.
Excellent trap. Well, that's where you want the opposing team to get that ball in the corner like that and get a good trap.
Holland thought about the three. Well, this game has become somewhat laboriously paced with all the free throws. Bob Huggins,
Max Miles called for the first goal. That's his fourth.
not particularly pleased. And a lot of fouls whistled in this game. 21 on West Virginia, 23 on Northern Kentucky. Holland hits the first. Jeff Garrett gets ready to set in. Tariq Phillip comes in for the Mountaineers for Daxter Miles Jr. And Holland hits them both. Bob Huggins been off that stool and muttering for quite some time.
Still in that 3-2 zone, Northern Kentucky.
Skipped over the top. Phillip open three-pointer on the way is good for Tariq Phillip.
West Virginia had trouble finding the range in the first half, going 1 for 9. Much better here in the second.
A good find by Adrian. Nice conversion by Tariq Phillip. Phillip has 16 points, 7 for 11 from the floor for Tariq Phillip. Williams does the split and now making charges on top of him. Hell ball, possession arrow pointing to Northern Kentucky.
Possession to the north.
Macon thought West Virginia had the ball. He was started down court. Bob Huggins had to yell and tell him to get back in the defensive area.
Seven in the shot clock. Holland the three, in and out, making the rebound. Gillis the
He was
foul.
certainly fouled.
Foul call to number 13.
Third on Brennan Gillis.
His third personal.
The Bear never looks happy, does he?
No, a quizzical look on his face as John Brennan calls a timeout for Northern Kentucky. And the Mountaineers up 79-55. Cold in the first half, beginning to heat up here in the second. Daxter Miles Jr. the three for the Mountaineers. Sidney Crosby with his 23rd goal. And then that was pretty much that. Columbus, the last 7 goals of the game as Macon hits the first free throw. And a pretty good run for the Penguins early on. Macon misses. Carter tracks down the rebound.
Why that doesn't surprise me.
You talk about a guy who has done more than his stats would indicate. I think Javon Carter belongs in that category. This one is Ahmad. The nice finish.
Which is a short corner, excellent pass inside. Oh boy, and Elijah Macon is down and in some major pain. The officials really need to stop it. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yep,
Holding
that's
his...
grabbing that knee. That is not good.
Yep.
see exactly what happened here. Oh, he and Issa Ahmad. That leg was planted. Just hope that it's nothing serious.
Yeah, he's making a motion that it was bent inwards. That was the indication that he gave. And it looks like he's going to be able to get up, and that is some good news potentially for West Virginia. Oh boy, not putting any pressure on it at all, though. Adrian just picks him up and carries him
Nate's
off.
doing a little bit of everything.
Making actually able to muster a laugh with that. Anyway. That's a first for me.
Yes.
I've never seen a guy pick up his teammate and carry him off like in that fashion.
Sags Kanate. And to the north.
Oh boy,
Gedges Wall.
making chuckle for a moment. Really a pleasant young man, but didn't see the laughter continuing there. Now Gillis.
Sags trying to get to the basketball.
And Gillis came out of there hobbling, but Kanate the personal foul, the 350 mark. There's Macon.
Yeah, he's at
trying to
least
walk it off.
Brendan Gillis at the free throw line.
Doc Metter with him. I think if it was anything they thought was really, really serious, he wouldn't be going off by himself like that.
Of course, no guarantee. I mean, you've seen guys walk around with and then find out later that they need surgery. So we're gonna hold off on any kind of any kind of comment on that. But Bob Huggins clearly hoping that they've been able to get some production. You know, you mentioned it before, trying to just kind of a three-headed monster approach, right, to get to those numbers that Devin Williams was able to get by himself last year. Second free throw by Gillis is good. Northern Kentucky showing a little pressure as Ahmad goes tumbling to the floor at the Coliseum.
Foul call to number 10, Trey Collins.
Northern Kentucky will do that on occasion. They haven't done it really today. Show some pressure, drop back either in the man-to-man or zone. They can do either out of that press.
2 shots for Issa Ahmad.
Bob Huggins up. I had a friend tell me Bob Huggins is wearing a Fitbit.
Really?
Yeah. I wonder how many steps today, you think?
Well, he's been getting up and down off that stool a bunch of times. I know that after the morning shoot-around, there's the Fitbit. You opted for the elevator. That didn't help his Fitbit cause,
No, that didn't. No, we all came up on the elevator together.
Ahmad hits. Ahmad, Myers, and Phillip in double figures. It's Phillip with 16, Myers 13, Ahmad a dozen for the Mountaineers. This is Walton, who's checked into the game. And another personal foul. Trey Cobb's also in. From Lima, Ohio.
I wonder what the foul totals will be at the end of this one. I mean, quite a few called.
By the way, Cobb and Dantes Walton were teammates in Lima, won a couple of state championships with Lima Central Catholic. And this is Cobb's. Missed the first.
Checking in for the Mountaineers.
James Long in for West Virginia. He's in for Tavon Myers.
Well, one instant offense to the other instant offense. Seen James Long come in and knock down some big threes.
Cobb's hit the second free throw. Northern Kentucky showing this pressure. Going deep to James Long. Kanate able to find and ram it home.
And if nobody's going to step in front of me, I think I'll take it in and flush it.
He has evinced an interest in dribbling the basketball in some games we've seen. So there's a block on the other end. Sags trying to help the officials out as well.
Lamont West checks in for the Mountaineers.
Yep, clear lane to the basket, and you'd have to be pretty brave to take a charge at this junction of the game with that big
step away there.
Big guy coming down the lane.
Oh, wow. Jeff Carrot, a house call. Wow. Well, we saw him earlier with a big jam. That was emphatic.
Sags finally got post correct.
Carter right to the basket. Under 3 minutes remaining now. West Virginia will improve to 11-1. 7th consecutive victory. The 6-game winning streak for Northern Kentucky will come to a close. That's Cobbs.
Well, Sags may have been dunked on, but he's going to have a few of those of his own before his time is up here at West Virginia. We've seen him try it a couple of times. A couple of them haven't gone down for him, but you play long enough, it happens to you.
James Long whistled for the foul. Harler and Beetle Bolden getting ready to check in for West Virginia as Cobbs hits the free throw.
Chase Harler.
Carter and Ahmad will check out. Carter with 11 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists.
Great effort again out of Carter. Mountaineers released right after the game this evening. Have to be back to 26th. Start gearing up for the contest at Oklahoma State.
I'm sure that another personal foul, Cobbs and Bolden. I'm sure when you were released, it felt like even if you only had 3 or 4 days, it was months, right? Because you've been grinding it out now since basically since school started.
Yes, and for a lot of these guys here all summer too.
Beetle Bolden at the free throw line.
Just hope that those guys can kind of govern themselves when they go back, that they don't eat up everything in sight.
Did you govern yourself back in the days?
But you could tell it when you got back too, when you were trying to get back in shape real quick. That drumstick, goes right in front of your eyes as you're running, running sprints.
And Bolden hits them both. For such a good shooter, just 1 for 4 from the free throw line. Obviously, a small sample size hits them both there. That's more like you would expect from Bolden.
The young man can really shoot the basketball.
And Cobbs and Long battling, jump ball. West Virginia basketball. So James Long coming in and supplying some defense. No let up here from the Mountaineers. Magic Bender, the freshman from Warsaw, Poland, getting set to check in. And there's Brian Messerly, one of the greats in the college world. Sports information director here at West Virginia. Esteemed sports information director. Merry Christmas, Mess. Thanks for all your work. Really a great help for us all year long.
We always get our notes way, most of the time long before anybody else gets them to us.
Oh, Bolden, good look to Bender, lost the handle. Personal foul called on Garrett.
Foul is called on Jeff Garrett.
Beetle Bolden with a nice handle, finding Bender underneath.
Shooting 2 for the Mountaineers, Magic Bender.
Bender misses the first.
For a guy that has such excellent form, we've seen him struggle shooting some, early on. I think that's going to come around. It's going to come with confidence and time.
9 of 16 now after going 1 for 1 there in the free throw line for Magic Bender. Yep, he's again, we've seen so many guys have that big development, the big jump from that freshman year to the sophomore year. Garrett, nice move. Winds up in the hands of Long. Under 2 minutes remaining. Another personal foul.
32, Dantes Walton called for the personal, his second.
Second personal foul on Dantes Walton. Jordan Garnett getting set to check back into the game.
2 shots.
West hits the first.
I think Lamont West is going to embrace taking that role over that Nate Adrian and Jonathan Holton last year had on the point of that press.
Really an impressive-looking player. Redshirt freshman Logan Rout in the game as West checks out.
Well, it's going to be a big step up when we go to the Big 12 schedule for West Virginia. When they go to that Big 12 schedule, I've seen a few of the Big 12 games, not a lot of them, but it's going to be some stiff competition. Baylor looks really good at this point, and Kansas is always Kansas.
And Baylor's beaten 3 top 10 teams. That's how you go from being picked, what I think was 5th in the preseason poll to being ranked in the top 10 in the country. There's Long. He'll step into the 3 off the mark. That would have raised the roof here at the Coliseum. We approach the 1-minute mark. Maxwell lost the handle.
1 minute. 1 minute to play.
West Virginia being careful as we get under a minute remaining here. 17 in the shot clock. And this team is picked 2nd in the Big 12, and they've done nothing really in the preseason. They did have the loss to Temple, but a victory over Illinois as Garrett missed the layup. And the impressive win on the road at Virginia.
Yeah, West Virginia, you know, again, one loss, and would like to have one half of basketball back against Temple. The first half really not West Virginia's best basketball. Made a great run in the second half, but just not enough.
Well, our portion of the West Virginia basketball season, Warren, coming to a close. As always, my friend, enjoyed it.
Yes, Rob. As always, I have had a ball.
Bob Huggins and John Brandon, a long handshake, long discussion there. 92-61 your final. A lot of fouls called in this game, but the big thing, I think, for both teams, something to take out of this. Bob Huggins, his team has now won 7 consecutive games. Career win number 802 for him. Their final tune-up before Big 12 conference play. John Brandon got to feel pretty good about coming in here and giving West Virginia a pretty solid battle here for most of the afternoon as we head over to Robbie Inzbikowski and head coach Bob Huggins.
Yeah, it ended up being a 31-point win. Bob, at halftime, you only get a 7-point lead. What was different in the second half?
We did what I told you we needed to do at halftime. We made shots. We did a better job rebounding the ball. By and large, we made free throws. We can't beat ourselves. We had unforced turnovers. Really, we just had a hard time getting away from them because we did it. You know, you can't do that. You can't have unforced errors.
So conference play begins a week from tonight at Oklahoma State. How prepared is your team as you head into it?
We'll find out a week from now. It's not easy where we open up. Evan's probably the best guard in the league. They got Forte back, who's probably the best shooter in the league. The guy with the real dark hair now used to be kind of blondish. Is real dark now. He's a pretty good coach.
Yeah, not bad. What has worked with your defensive style to press Virginia that you've been able to implement over the last 3 years? You got a couple seniors who've been a part of it. Why has it worked for you and your team?
Well, we didn't do a very good job today, but the biggest reason is Javon Carter. Javon Carter puts great pressure on the ball. He makes great rotations. Our guys in the back are getting better, I think. But our foot speed's pretty good.
Bob, this is the last question you're going to have to answer from us in the entire year.
All right, you. From you. Rob hadn't asked me a question a whole year. Hadn't asked me one.
Your fondest memory has been what, Bob?
Messing up your hair.
Good luck at conference play. We'll miss you.
Appreciate it.
Guys.
Robbie, thank you very much. We hope you saw that mussing of the hair that came after win number 800. And it was fun to watch. Big, as always, a lot of fun to be with you. It's been a lot of fun with you, and I think it's going to be potentially a special season for West Virginia.
Yeah, I hope so. happy holidays to everybody in this great state.
You got it. To you and everybody watching on Root Sports. Mountaineers win by the final score of 92-61. They are 11-1 as we head back to Stan Savran in our Root Sports studios for Penguins pregame.